Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Predators. Sorry. Couldn't do it because I think it might be trademarked or something. Predators.
Extra notes. You're good.
I guess we're talking about people who are overbearing and controlling.
Oh,
talking about like coworkers.
Oh.
So for me, there's always this guilt whenever I like start a new job, and usually for like the first 3 years of a job, that I'm very anal, that people care about like how much time, how many minutes you spend on something. Now there are certain jobs out there that really do track you by the minute. Like you're like filling out forms or something, or you're reading a document, and like when you start that document, you click, and then when you're done with that document, you click again. Like you're start.
Wait. So what do you what do you clock in? Do you clock in or clock out at work?
So my work is different or weird because you have an option to just fill out your time at the end of the day or end of the week and just like here it is. But you also have an option to do like real time clocking of stuff. So like if you start something, you click and you start or stop that clock. So the coworkers, there's probably a handful of them that do this. I find it really weird because you'll be working on something and you'll ask them a question and they'll like turn to you slowly and be like ready to answer you, and they gauge how long their answer is going to be, and they go, hold on a second, and then they bring up the window, they click, and then they look for the project that you're talking about, and they start the clock, and you see the clock running as they turn, and then they start answering your question.
What?
Yes.
Real?
For real, 100%.
That's real people.
Yeah. Holy fuck,
That's
right?
the most fucked up thing I've ever heard in my life. And I've been alive for 32, 34 years. I never knew that existed.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes. Isn't that nuts?
Are they billing you for these hours? Like, I understand, like, whatever. Anyway.
You're billing a customer, so you're trying to be as exact as possible. And this came up with my wife's job, one of my previous jobs, her previous jobs. She was working for so many clients that they literally, like, you're reviewing a document and you're supposed to, like, write a summary. So they would bill for, like, that document that you started till the end of the summary, which could take, like, 30 minutes. So, like, all day long, you're clicking in, like, checking in, checking out. And then they take those metrics and then they use them against you because they have so much data on how long it takes to do X Word document. They're like, you're a little over today. What? Why did you take a dump in the middle of this document? Like, you're supposed to check in and check out. So it's nuts. It's the Dwight of The Office.
Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, he would record every minute, like every sneeze and every piss and every poop, and then like make it up at the end of the day. It's like, what about now? You're not talking about work. And then he gets back to work. But these people exist.
Smart move.
So I usually like take a tally of the people in the office, so I like get a feel for them and see how they are, and then like judge like how much weight do they have to my job. Like, are they gonna be the people that are going to tattletale or going to be like cause me to like lose my job or a raise. And then I handle them with kid gloves if they are those types of people. If they're like watching every day. I think there's a meme of Game of Thrones. You know that scene where Jaime pulls into Winterfell, gets off his horse, looks around, and then Bran is sitting there.
Bran is creeping on him.
Yeah, it's that guy that sits by the toilet, and the third time you take a dump during the day, you walk out, you look around, you think you're good, and then there's that guy just like taking a tally.
Writing some things down. Just nothing much.
I'm just going to pass this note to your boss to make sure he knows. So that drives me nuts. That's that every minute of my day is watched. I don't think I could work at a job that would do that. You have to actually punch a clock and then punch a clock when you leave. Punch in, punch out.
Most of the jobs I've had are pretty much just show up at 9 and leave at 5 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The last job, the countertops, was the first time I was introduced to clocking in physically with your fingerprint. So you couldn't even ask someone else to clock you in or out.
Yeah.
It was biometrics, it's called. And I was like, damn, you really can't cheat that clock.
No.
But actually you could. What it is if you left at like 4:40 one day when you're supposed to leave at 5, you would not clock out purposely and then email the what's her name and be like,
correct my hours.
I forgot to do whatchamacallit. Can you make sure I clock out at 5? And she'd be like, is that when you're working too? You'd be like, yeah, definitely. You couldn't do it for like half an hour, but like 5 minutes. What's she gonna do? Go to the camera system and be like, he was leaving at 55. You know what I mean?
This freaks me out. is like in the future, because they could have AI that could track you. It would just be like tracking you all the time at work. It'd be like, you got here at 9:02 and left at like 4:48, but you said you worked 8 hours? It's like, oh, time to leave this job.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I don't think I could do that.
Much. This job right now, I have to hit a button to clock in when I log in.
Oh, yeah.
And anyone can do it, but no one's going to do it for me right now. So I have to do it. I'm not paid hourly. It's more to check that I'm doing.
Make sure you're not there. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Or you are.
And I actually have to hit start lunch and stop lunch.
Ooh.
Isn't that weird?
So they're tracking your time.
Well, they want to make sure I actually take a full hour.
That's weird.
Isn't it?
So they're...
And I keep saying, I want to be like, listen, can I do a 15-minute lunch and leave like half an hour earlier?
No, of course not.
They're like, no. That's what they said. I was like, okay. I'll do an hour lunch. It takes me like 8 minutes to eat. And now what do I do? Literally, I just work out. But anyway, overbearing.
Yeah, overbearing bosses, employers.
Yeah.
It's also knowing when to do, like, to take an off day. I think most jobs you have majority normal people who are accepting of you being like flexible. If they're not, then I think that's a problem in itself. I do know of employees that got fired for saying they were at work when they weren't, but they didn't know when to take their spots.
Right. That's being pretty damn bold. There's like outright boldly lying to your company and trying to get money from it and like scheming when there's probably evidence everywhere.
Like not being there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then they're stealing like 7 minutes here, or like being like, F them, I billed them for 10 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, okay. Now it's a slippery slope. I understand. There's probably some Fortune 500 people watching me being like, this guy applied for the job. We almost hired him, but nope, not anymore.
My consideration is if you get the job done and you're producing,
then who cares?
Who cares? Yeah. You're doing the task that was assigned. And if you're working faster than other people and they try to give you more work, slow down your work. Try to be like, I just need to add some finishing touches. Yeah.
I need to clock this.
You can manipulate me, but I can do it right back to you. So I'm comfortable with doing that.
Yes. It's a little more work, homework, and figuring it out and finding your sweet zones, but you can do it.
Yeah.
How do you like target these people? How do you know like whether your job's going to be this micromanaging nightmare? Overbearing.
It's hard to tell, I think.
Hey, we're a fun company. You got a biometric scan in every 5 minutes. We use retinal recognizer to see what you're looking at. Yeah, it's like, whoa.
Your body just lost a gram. Did you fart?
Did you fart?
But you have to be wary of these, like, there's also the workplaces that are, like, too fun. Like, we have a ping pong table and a pool and also beer on tap. It's like, and unlimited vacation days, like, that's very, like, be wary of that because they'll guilt you into doing so much work and you'll never get to use any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept because at my new job, they have a ping pong table upstairs, and they said, they use that for the first week. Nobody uses that anymore. And I was like, well, I'm not a ping pong guy, but that makes sense. And then they had horseshoe pits, and they elbowed me and went, see the horseshoe pits? And I said, I guess. And they were like, I was like, what am I seeing? I don't know. Am I supposed to say that's good or this is bad? Like, what's the key here?
Sand.
It was, but it's also covered in grass at this point because no one uses it.
No one cares.
And I was like, okay. I get you.
That's
it's like fake fun.
I think they're trying to make you think that they're casual, but also I think they're trying to like single you out. Like if you're the guy out there playing horseshoes.
Right, like if you were the only one playing horseshoes, that would really show, wouldn't it? They'd be like, oh, horseshoes again. We're meeting your numbers. Oh, that's interesting.
I'm going to have to ask you to stay the weekend.
Ooh, horseshoes. I noticed you were playing horseshoes again.
Even Lombard fucked her. Lombard.
Numbers weren't where we thought they were, but you were playing horseshoes.
I'm going to have to ask you to...
Playing horseshoes? I don't have to because it's a company policy. Fun for everyone. But maybe get your numbers up. Come in on Saturday. Come in on Sunday. Come in, stay till midnight. We got it. Whew. So, can you avoid these things?
I think Sometimes you can. Maybe you can read into like the people being a little anal, a little bit too forceful. If they're controlling during the interview, or if they're trying to like force you into a situation that you don't like, if there's something weird about them, don't take the job. If you have to take the job, stick it out. They do say that you're supposed to work for like, at least a year to make it look like it's good on your resume. Fuck that. Like, I don't think people care. Yeah. If you need to get out, get out. If it's difficult, don't stick it out. I don't think it will ever, like, after 6 months, you know the shitty part of the job, the good part of the job. If there's some balance in between, maybe you enjoy it a little bit, but if there's not,
interesting.
Or maybe you try to switch roles or jobs, like functions in a company, or like try to get under a different manager. I've had weird managers that like I did not feel like they're on my side. Get away from them quickly but quietly, so they don't even realize that you just shifted away from working for them because they suck.
They're going to try and keep it. Yeah. When in doubt, pull out, folks. I know you've heard it before, but that's our motto.
It's a big one. It's a big one.
Big one.
Yeah. All right. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Predators.
That's pretty good.